So on this side, we will be showcasing and allowing you to experience. What we have here is the AI playground, right? Over here, we'll be showcasing Chromio, which is a free version. It also is available in the paid version. Allows you to do a lot of things locally using AI. It's more useful for somebody who's, let's say, designing the campaigns, if you want to generate marketing campaigns and stuff like that. Then we have got Adobe here, so we'll be showcasing Premiere, and then we also have on that side the showcase of the battery life as well as some of more slightly technical stuff. I'll walk you through those. So AI playground here, right? So your question was if it's consumer focused or if it's enterprise focused. Now, you can have enterprises use it, right? Because it's a well-versed product. The main aim of the AI playground is so that users can actually start adoption of AI very easily, but more than that, locally. Because today we need to go to, let's say, the likes of ChatGPT in an app or a website, and what that means is that our data basically we have to unknowingly share that with the providers, right? If I'm not sure if you might have read the fine prints, but apart from if it's the enterprise use case for the consumers, their data could be used by these providers for further training and stuff like that, right? So obviously, so with this, you can actually use it to kind of infer your confidential documents, financial documents, so you can get the gist of it. Apart from that, it has also got a lot of content creation focused things. So that's it. I'll try to demonstrate this. Let me try and find out what's the best way. Okay. I think I'll just move it over here so that, sorry, so you guys can take a look. Probably can just move it on this side so that everybody can see this. Yeah.
You want to check?
No, that's okay. I'll probably just take this so that everybody is able to see the screen. So, okay, let me just bring you guys to see the full set of features. As I was saying, right, this has got a lot of variety of applications. So on the chat side, you can see there's a simple chat, there's a rack-based chat, there's a chat based on an NPU. NPU is our low power core focused on the tensor compute. And then we have got reasoning, vision-based models, agentic as well as advanced chat. We've also got a voice mode in it, so you can actually speak. It will convert it to the text, and then once it's generated, you can get your responses. Similarly, these are the image-based, tools available with which you can either generate the image or you can modify or edit those images. And then we've also got certain, video-focused things or editing the images kind of tools, right? Okay, so let's start with this without any further ado. Okay, so now let's say if I'll probably just select the advanced chat here, and if I just go to this one, all right. So I'll be selecting the SKU list, okay, and I'll be asking it a simple question. Bring the prompt. So take a note of the fact that what we have here is not a document actually, but it's rather a image, right? So we provided it a SKU list of all the Intel processors that are launched, and then we asked it the question, what is the tops? So this goes to show that this uses a multi-model approach, wherein you can actually use a simple text-based model, a reasoning model, or a vision-based model, or a multi-modal which can interpret a lot of things. So over here, it's basically just read through this image, and out of this image, it has processed the text in it, and now it's working on generation of a response, right? So you see from this image itself, it has given us a response of how many tops are available with respect to the NPU and the GPU, right? Now similarly, let's imagine if we wanted to make use of a document, we can also do that. So let's say if I just go here and let's say this is an AIPC report. This could be a financial report. This could be something else which is confidential. So if I just go here and then I just ask this. So if I just ask this to give me key takeaways from the document that I just uploaded. So again, now in this case, we are going to leverage an OCR mechanism where it's going to interpret the PDF, right? So it has interpreted the PDF quite quickly and given us 3 bullet points as we had requested it. Now let's try to do a bit of an agentic wherein despite of us being in the chat mode, we would be asking it to generate an image. So it's gonna call a separate model internally, and yeah. Let's go here. Let's select agentic. We selected that. Execute this. Now, since this is image based, it kind of takes a while to generate, but you can see most of the parameters are being displayed over here. It shows the kind of tokens it is using, the time it is taking, what steps is it exactly doing. This might be helpful as a first step because what happens is today's time, the AI subscriptions are extremely expensive. If you're using it as a consumer, it might fall in the ranges of somewhere around $50 to $20 per month. But if you are using it as an enterprise or a developer, it is based on the number of tokens that you consume per call. And depending on our context and how we use it, these tokens kind of get used up very quickly. I mean, just for the sake of experiment, when we had tried coding model, we had consumed around about 20,000 tokens in a matter of a couple of minutes. So yeah, that's the thing. So this kind of allows you to kind of play around with things, use this for your confidential data. If not, kind of just try and check the kind of impact it has, and then plan for your enterprise-based subscription.
I have a request.
Yeah.
Is it possible to see the CPU usage or NP usage side by side?
Yes,
That you're using?
let me just bring that up. So because currently all the models that I'm currently running, I am using the GPU to showcase the fact that, hey, what happened? Did I just close the app? Yeah, okay, there it is. So you see it has generated an image, and you can just try and see the quality of the image is also quite significant. Now we can also kind of make modifications to this image. So for example, let's say for this image, if I wanna upscale this, I can simply go here and go in my image this thing. I can say upscale. So this will actually allow us to upscale this. You can choose upscale factor, white twice, white size. Okay. So let's say we upscale it by 4 times. Let's see what happens. And so the great part about this application is that you can choose all the models, whether that's the base model, which is used for text interpretation, video generation, and so on and so forth, or the embeddings which kind of interprets each word that we type in to make understand. So there's multiple customization or you can say configuration available just to make the users well versed with how would they be playing with AI, because it's very easy to jump on the open cloud train, but then it's got a lot of risks associated with it. This kind of gives you a first glimpse into the various terminologies that you might want to look into before adopting an AI full-fledged. Okay. Yeah. So this is executed.
That's really, yeah, how it's ramping up.
So if you look at these images side by side, right? So you might be able to see the difference between both of them is significant. If you look at the fur on the right hand side and this one here, if I'm zooming in, this is significantly more clearer. So this kind of does the upscaling. Now similarly, we can also make changes to the color of the whatever subject we have. We can do in painting, we can do out painting, we can make edits like merging two images. So there are a lot of things which are available for us to be done. Yeah, okay, so you're talking about the CPU thing. Let's take one more demo so that we can see.
Can it do like the open claw kind of thing?
It can, this PC can, yes.
So the default mode is local processing. Is that the only mode? Can you go to the cloud and
We
process
can,
cloud
yeah.
processing?
There's nothing stopping us. So if you look at this right now,
The
there's
setting
no
is adjustable.
Wi-Fi connected. Yeah. So for this particular application, it is specifically meant so that you can run your AI locally. That's the purpose, right? The only time you will go to the internet or the cloud is if you want to download a new model. For example, I can show you. Let us.
So far you've been running offline.
Yes.
So far it's been running offline.
Okay, so what if you connect to the Wi-Fi? Is it automatically processed?
No,
on
no,
the
no,
cloud?
no.
No, it's
This is absolutely local application. So
it's the only mode.
yeah, yeah, that's the only mode. And that purpose is so that you do not have to expose your data or whatever prompts you write to the cloud,
Okay.
right?
It was
So
previously canaless, but now.
Even when you connect it to the cloud,
yes,
it's the
yes.
same.
The only time that it would kind of interact with cloud is to download some models.
I guess Intel created this show of offline AI.
And then this AI playground also allows you to generate your own code. So the code generation.
AI Playground is launched today. This version 3.
Yeah, AI Playground has been launched since last year, when we had launched our first generation of processors called Meteor Lake, which was the first generation AI PC processor. Right now, it's on the third generation. This has brought in some capabilities with respect to agentic video processing, as well as code generation as well. Yeah, and then getting your models is also quite simple. You just have to go here. There's a list of models that you can choose from, which we already have here, and these are very most commonly used models which are available today, and all the well-known models like the Mistral, the ChatGPT, OSS, which is the open source model. In fact, the smallest model that you can run on this is 2.5 billion parameters. The largest model, which I just mentioned, ChatGPT OSS, is 120 billion parameters, right? So this system, this thin and light device, is capable enough to run even a 120 billion parameter model. So this is the one, the ChatGPT.
Are you able to demonstrate video generation?
Video generation, let me check. I think I might not have downloaded the model for this one. Okay, let us try and see. We have the model with us. Yeah, no, the model is not available on this device. So but I think later on, once we're done with this demo, and you'll be free to try this device. So you can just then try. By the time, I'll just try to download the model. Okay. So any questions with this particular application? Yeah.
There have been a lot of conversation on the efficiency, right, on running AI workloads.
Right.
So, are we able to run, let's say, AI application like this, concurrently running other application? How does the system balance
Precisely.
the workload between
Yeah.
this?
So, I mean, if you look at it, previously we were also kind of running some other applications with respect to setting up the demo and stuff like that. On the other devices, we can show you how we are kind of running multiple applications and how the multi-cores that we have in terms of performance, efficiency, and the low power efficiency cores, they kind of help you to run all of these workloads parallelly, right? But there's no issue with running this model. In fact, all of these systems mostly have got 32 gigs of memory, which is good enough to kind of have a parallel workload with your AI, because AI models predominantly get loaded onto your memory, right? So that kind of hogs up a lot of space out there. But despite of that, it runs most commonly available enterprise applications like Teams, Word, PowerPoint, Zoom, and also a few coding IDs as well. Okay. Any other question with respect to this?
Back to the question, right? So, does users have a way to say that how they want to balance, which one to take priority in terms of the resource?
No, we have specifically not given this liberty to the users. Why? Because apart from our processor, then comes the OS level, which is where we have the Windows or the Linux that we are running on our devices, and it's basically the OS that kind of intelligently does that, so that the user doesn't have to fiddle and can focus on his work, right? So Intel is working very closely with Microsoft. In fact, it has. So with Windows 11, we have got a couple of optimizations available in Windows, so that it can efficiently and smartly choose which core to put the workload on. And by that means, not only provide the efficiency to the user, but also help you to conserve the power and get the best out of your battery life. Yeah.
Windows 11 is not really very good with the RAM usage. How are you?
Yes, I agree. In fact, we were the first ones, because I also cover end user enterprise accounts. So this was a conversation I used to have with my customers, helping them to highlight based upon the memory requirements. But Windows has kind of brought in some optimizations. So now you'll see that the memory usage would actually not be as high as it previously used to be. I agree that even in the past we've seen on a 16 gig device, Windows would actually hog up 8 gigs of the memory. But there has been some optimization now with respect to that.
32 gigs.
Right. So this was an OS thing where it was kind of eagerly blocking some aspect of memory, but I think that is changing with the subsequent updates. Yeah. So that's the case. All right. So let's move on to the next demo. So on this device over here, what we have is. So we'll be running the Cyberlink Romeo over here. What I would like to showcase is so basically, we can, let's say, we'll do a quick marketing advisor, or showcase that we are working with more than 300 plus ISVs to actively integrate.
Which is like whatever you want, for example. For this one, you can just select water, right? And then we'll show some videos of water here, like contents of water. And then maybe want to add some sports. And everything will come there. So you don't have to looking at your folder to find some videos. And the other part of this one is you can also do some big color, but it is very automatic right now. So using these telemetry colors, whatever you do, you can always adjust the colors here and there, and then this also will help you on creating some auto correct colors for this one. So it won't take some long time for this coloring for this Adobe Photoshop. And the other part that is very interesting is for this one. I already prepared this demo for. So basically, when we put some text, it is like coming in front of the text, right? In front of the objects. So with this masking object tools, we can create this text to be seen just behind this girl. So you see here's the result. So usually in general, manual things editing, right? It will take some very long time. But now with this capabilities of CPU, GPU, we can have it like for like 5 minutes to this. So yeah, this is what I do.
So when you finish generating, okay, so they finish generating towards the end, is it?
Yes, it's correct.
Oh, I see. The words go behind the lady.
Yeah, behind the lady, right? Because we like do some with this object called object masking, we do tracking for this lady, and then we just copy this frame to another frame with add text. So you see here there is like three frame, right? One, this is our main frame. So yeah, this is our main frame, right? And then we do this masking using this object mask, and then we can select this lady only, and then we duplicate this frame, move to another frame, which is this one is our new frame for the masking, and then we just add text, and then move the text into the behind between the masking object, so it's becoming like this.
So I guess correct and wrong. I think what he was trying to show is that a lot of new applications, Premiere Pro, is it?
Yeah, this is like still in beta, right?
Yeah.
Because Adobe hasn't released the full version of this
Yeah,
one.
but they're basically trying to use AI to do new things.
Right.
So you need a laptop with the power, lah, right?
Yeah, precisely. But
Yeah.
in this case, it's not as much of an AI use case over here.
Yeah.
What we are trying to showcase is that, originally or till the recent past, for these applications, you needed to have a very powerful dedicated GPU in your
GPU.
devices.
Okay.
But now in this kind of a form factor, very thin and light device, you can still run these applications and
Yes.
execute these tasks. Which goes to show the kind of changes that we have brought into our processors, not only shrunken them down, not only made them power efficient, but they are also equally better performing.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, let's move on to the next table.
Is it there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So very thin and light device. This is a video that's playing over the internet, and I guess it's playing in loop. What we're trying to showcase here is the battery life, the battery performance. It has been a couple of hours. We came in here around 7 or 8 in the morning. Since then, it's been playing, so it's still kind of running. Over here, what we are trying to showcase is the low power island usage, right? A lot of times, customers are not able to really distinguish or see, which processor cores are kind of working. Unfortunately, you'll have to kind of go in a bit closer to see this. On this device, you can see there are 4 applications that are running. There is a Teams running on the left-hand corner. There is a YouTube video playing on a loop. We have got several tabs open in Chrome on the right-hand side. On the lower bottom half, we have a very heavy Excel. This is actually running a Monte Carlo simulation formula inside. On the right-hand side, we have a PowerPoint going on. Now, again, you might see that these applications are just sitting there idle, maybe not doing anything. But the point is that these applications are continuously running. So what we are trying to showcase is, when such heavy enterprise workload is going on, your device intelligently decides where to put each workload on, so that you can get the best performance and also get a better battery life. What you can see over here is, as I make my mouse move, based on the application that I have, it kind of changes the workloads, invokes some code. As soon as my mouse kind of reads that, I don't divide it. It frees up the performance code and changes the low power code. Let's say if I go around a general consumer, he might kind of use his device for some time, put the lid off, put it in the bag, maybe keep it at home. In that kind of scenario, we have seen the battery last for around 28 hours. But let's say on a consistent base of use, for example, like this device, in our experience, it lasted for around 8 to 9 hours of consistent use, which is in this scenario. And let's say in an on and off scenario where somebody is mobile, and let's say somebody is doing some Excel, PowerPoint, or some web browsing kind of a work, in that case, the battery kind of goes as high as 21 to 22 hours. Again, the mileage might vary based on the OEM, the make, model, and the battery size that they have. Right? Okay, so that's all. If you have any questions, do let me know. I'm gonna.
Oh, hungry.
Yeah, we wait for them to come first. Yeah. And we wait for it to download the update. We start the game. Because just now they wanted to play another game, so that's why I shut down the F1 just now. Yeah. Wait, give me 1 second, let me double check with Chong first.